of again. Before the break, I said Manchester City are getting busy. There's been a development. Michael Bridge, we've just spoken to our colleagues in Germany, Mike, and Omar Marmoush has agreed in principle a move to Manchester City pending an agreement between the two clubs. Now, the negotiations over a deal are expected to start over the next few days, with Frankfurt wanting a fee around £67 million, but an opening offer could come around this weekend. Here, Marmoush wants to come, and he's the first choice for Pep Guardiola. And Eintracht Frankfurt are now going to negotiate with Manchester City, and they are aware of Marmoush's choice. So to reiterate the top story, Omar Marmoush agreed a move in principle to Manchester City pending an agreement between the clubs. Okay, Mark, Eintracht Frankfurt going well in the Bundesliga, going well in the Europa League. I would suggest to you they must have somebody lined up to come in. Yes, they do. And potentially it could be a Premier League player as well who's been lacking in game time so far this season. Our colleagues in Germany have reported that Eintracht Frankfurt are closely monitoring Nicolas Füllkrug's situation at West Ham. The striker is on their short list in the events of Omar Marmoush leaving for Manchester City. One Hour Sports in Italy have also been reporting this month that Juventus have an interest in the Germany international who's found game time hard to come by in East London. So that is one to keep an eye on. Of course, it's that domino effect that we talk about so many times in transfer windows. One player goes, someone else goes, that frees up someone else to go. This could be one of those situations. Ties in nicely because he scored a good goal against City, didn't he, at the weekend? So let's stay with Manchester City then, Mark. They're after a defender as well. Give us a name. Yeah, you said at the top of the show, didn't you? Lovely, lovely Manchester. You said just then that Manchester City could be busy in this window, things hotting up, and you get the feeling that an injection of fresh faces is exactly what they need at the moment. Things have gone a little bit stale. Now, this face would be a young face. 18-year-old center back Vitor Reach, a good prospect, and I've spoken to a number of scouts that have watched a lot of football and say he's an exciting player, but he's still very young, got a lot to learn. Manchester City have approached Palmeiras with regards to doing a deal, but it's in the early stages at the moment. There's a few conflicting stories with regards to the price, and I guess when you look at Omar Mahmoud and Rich, there are players there that are not going to be cheap for Manchester City, so they may be splashing the cash in this January transfer window. Palmeiras, according to one source, have been saying they want around, which is about £33.5 million for an 18-year-old center back. However, some of our other sources have been saying the fee could be upwards of £40 million as well. So this would be a significant outlay for a player. Very highly thought of, but 18-year-old center back to come in and save your season sounds like a lot of pressure on the lad. Of course, you know, if he was to come in with Mahmoud and one or two others, then actually it could be just a start of a new era at Manchester City. One other thing to just put on your radar, Mike, Manchester City in the market for a central midfielder in this window should the right type of profiled player come to them. Now, there's no names attached to that at the moment. However, that's certainly an option that they're looking at and wouldn't walk away from a deal should the right player present itself. So, yeah, center back, inside forward, Mahmoud, possibly a midfielder could be an interesting window to watch Pep Guardiola and see what he does because he needs to shake that team up.